Hello there, it's Jay here from Jay's Vintage Junk, and this is just a quick update on the old ZX81 project. And as you can see, I've got my screen mounted in my case, and that's basically what I've just been playing about with today. It's been a little bit of a faff to actually get it fitted in, because basically what I've had to do, if I just turn this round so you can see, I don't know if you can actually see this here, but if you look, there wasn't actually quite enough room in that corner there. If you can see better from this way around. Yeah, there wasn't quite enough room actually to get the screen in with the metalwork of the frame there. So I actually had to cut a little bit of the framework out. It's still, the screw still goes through, it still threads in fine. But I did have to cut a little bit out there just to give enough room for the actual screen to fit in. So as we can see, we've actually got our screen mounted in. I can't power it up yet because I've just literally got the screen mounted. All the electronics are still here at the moment. Basically what I'm going to do is just salvage like the ribbon cable there. I'll find out what the contrast control, the value of the pot there is, and I'll use a little rotary control and probably actually use that knob that we salvaged off the actual OB rack as the contrast control on the front, because I think that'll look quite aesthetically quite nice. Apart from that, what we need to salvage off here, we'll salvage these connectors. We want that heatsink there with its 7805 regulator underneath. We can probably pinch the smoothing cap and what have you for that as well. So basically that's what we're going to salvage off here, and the rest of this can well, the board will go in my scrap PCB box, and the plastic can just go in the bin. So, so we've got basically the screen up to now mounted in there. The next thing I was looking at was how I'm going to actually mount the ZX81 itself. Now, what I have done is I've removed the heatsink that would have normally been here. I've taken the heatsink off, and what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to actually just run the board from 5 volts from the supply. I'll have another regulator and heatsink mounted on the back of here basically, and I'll be feeding smoothed regulated 5 volts straight into this. Probably just take the 7805 regulator off the board. I mean, I don't have to modify the board really in any way. I just need to actually take the regulator off and feed 5 volts straight into it there. Obviously I need to, this resistor is just tacked in at the moment. That needs to be tidied up, and I'll put the modulator cover and case back together like that. And then it's just looking basically how I'm going to position this board in the case. What I've done on the base, that's a piece of acrylic. I've cut a piece of acrylic to fit the base, and then we can mount the board onto that on some standoffs, and then we can run all our wiring round. And I want to see if I can make the wiring really neat and tidy on this, and I'll loom it all. So basically the board will fit, it will fit that way round, and it will fit in to the back like that, probably around there. It has to be offset slightly so there's enough room to get to the edge connector there for my keyboard interface to fit on, and obviously I'll need enough room above it for the extra expansions and things I'm actually going to do to this ZE eventually. So basically that's how the ZX81 board is going to mount in the case. And then the only other thing really we need to do is, like I said, we've got the contrast controls going to be mounted up there, and then we're going to use 4 of these little contact switches, probably arranged in like a little 4-way bank kind of, sort of like that, if you can see that. A bit fiddly to hold them all together like this, but oops, I put that one the wrong way around. It's basically going to be a little switch bank mounted probably either up there or like down there, of them 4 switches, and they will switch various functions of the computer which I'm going to build in, mostly to do with switching it on, powering the monitor on, and switching between a couple of different options for the monitors, because obviously I want to be able to have it so we can use the internal monitor and an external monitor, and I've got a few other little ideas how I'm going to do that, and these are double pole, double throw switches, so I can actually I think I figured out a way that I can do everything that I want. I don't need any ICs. I can actually do it just with these. It'll be like 3 of these double pole, double throw switches, and the 4th one will be something else that I'm planning to do with the computer in a future, in a little while, once I've actually got it built and up and running. I mean, with them 4 down there in the contrast control, I've got the potential perhaps for another couple of switches if I need them in the future up there, but these are about, you can get smaller switches, but I like these switches, and like I said, they've got double pole, double throw, so I think they've got enough ways on them to actually do what I want. But anyway, like I said, this was only a quick little video just to show you how far I've got on with this. The fact I've actually got the screen mounted in there. I have actually just used good old-fashioned hot glue. Basically, I put a dot in each car and I got the screen lined up, pushed it home, and then I just ran a very fine bead of hot glue all the way around it just to hold it in position. And I actually, when I was doing this at first, it was very, very cold up here in the workshop, and I put the dots of hot glue on, and it was so cold it actually set solid before I'd even got the screen, picked it up and put it in position. And it took me about half an hour to pick them 4 little dots of hot glue actually off the metalwork there before I could have another go, and I had to basically put this thing on top of the fan heater I've got up here and warm it up, so the plastic was a little bit warmer before I put the hot glue on, and that time actually it gave me enough play for me to push it down and get it centered exactly how I wanted it. But yeah, that's how cold it is at the moment up in my workshop. But yeah, like I said, I'm going to leave it there for now. It really was just a quick little update to show you that I have actually got my screen mounted where I wanted it mounted. So I hope you enjoyed that, and thanks for watching, and goodbye.